You know, and when you think about phenomena like the Kardashian family and how popular they are, part of that is this desire that people have for unearned celebrity, because you can get to the top without any sacrifices and without any work. And if you're really cynical, you know, you think that the people at the top are just there by accident anyways, and it might as well be you. And of course there's a lot of naivety in that as well, and a fair bit of, you know, not a fair lack of wisdom and all of that. But the actor idea here is that you can pretend to be something you're not, and that's the proper route of anyone wise to success. It's the ultimate in cynicism, and it's a nihilistic perspective as well, and that's how they entrap him. They say, look, why are you bothering to go to school? That's going to take 18 years. With all of your talents, you can just go on the stage, your name will be up in lights, you'll be at the top in no time. And what does the puppet know? And plus he does have some talents. He is, after all, a semi-autonomous puppet. Now, he doesn't exactly know how special that makes him, but the fox can obviously see something in him. And he's good at playing that naivety off and then offering these false promises. But see, the thing is, one of the things that Carl Jung said that I thought was really interesting when he was talking about the Oedipal situation in families, I never forgot this. So the Oedipal situation, roughly speaking, is when, I'll lay out the classic story, is when a child is seriously overprotected, usually a male child by his mother. Now the reverse can be the case, and it can be a female child by the mother and all of that, but I'll just talk about the classic case to begin with. Now, what Freud observed was that there were usually not very good boundaries in families like that. And so the relationship between the husband and the wife was either strained or non-existent. And the wife would often turn to the child to be what she isn't getting from the husband. And so there's a great South Park episode about this. A wonderful South Park episode where I don't remember, that horrible little guy is that's him, yeah. And his mother brings in the dog whisperer to train him. And it's a brilliant episode. If you want to learn about the Freudian Oedipal situation, you watch that, you've got it down cold, because she brings in this expert who then she wants to have an affair with, so that's a boundary issue. And he basically separates her son from him and imposes the same discipline on him that he would impose on a bad dog. Although he also trains the dog's owners all the time, because maybe it's not the dog, maybe it's the owner. There's a horse whisperer movie too, about the original horse whisperer, that does a beautiful job of laying that out too, because he's very good at fixing problem horses and unbelievably good at diagnosing psychopathology on the part of the owner. He's got a gift for it. But anyways, what happens in the South Park episode is that the dog whisperer gets Cartman, straightened out. And he starts like dressing properly and doing his homework, and the mother is pursuing an affair with the dog whisperer, but he's professional. He keeps his distance, like he keeps boundaries around him. And then he leaves, and then the first thing that she does when he leaves is bribe Cartman basically out of doing his homework so that he can accompany her to, I don't know, a fast food restaurant or something like that. And so the reason she does that is because she's lonesome and doesn't have anybody else around, and you know, maybe she's also deeply, deeply, deeply terrified that if she helps that boy grow up, he will leave and she'll have nothing. You know, and so mothers who don't have something, say, outside their infants, not merely their children, are more likely to fall into that. And it's no wonder, you know, you got to think that through. And lots of women really, most women, really fall in love with their babies, you know. And so even if they start growing into larger children, that can be threatening, because, well, when the infant turns into a toddler, the infant is dead. The toddler is there now. And you can radically interfere with that process. That happens all the time, all the time. That's the classic Freudian Oedipal nightmare. And that episode is brilliant. It's bloody brilliant. It just nails it. And some of you have been in my personality class and watched Crumb, the documentary Crumb. And that's another staggering exposition of exactly that kind of pathology. Anyways, one of the things Jung pointed out, so I knew this guy once who had a mother who basically was trying that trick, and she was very smart and had lots of tricks up her sleeves, and there's just no way he was going to go for it. He rebelled at every possible moment, and he basically became, I would say, somewhat hyper-masculine in response, which is an interesting lesson with regards to the hypermasculinity that boys often develop if they're raised by single mothers, because they tend to go one of two ways. And he just fought her at every step of the way, and it didn't happen. But one of the things Jung said, which I loved, and you can really see this in the Crumb documentary, is that the Oedipal mother basically entices the child, says, look, here's the deal. You don't have to do anything, but you don't get to leave.